Welcome everyone. Welcome to the session where you're going to free your potential. Welcome to Teranga Valley. My name is Gito. Just a brief introduction in terms of what Teranga is. Teranga is a Senegalese word that means welcome. So the basis of Teranga Valley is about creating a platform for like-minded individuals within business to come together, to motivate one another, to share information, to really grow each other as individuals. And it really links into the workshop series that we have today about freeing your potential.
I have been to events where you see a guy who's probably a billionaire. You never know. He's sitting up there, very well dressed, and you don't really have much access to the person, right? Because they talk about things that you don't necessarily relate to when you're already in your career. So that's why we thought that having something super flat like this, where everyone have this sense of belonging to the valley, is super important to us. And also Teranga is I'm gonna ask the question for those who have been here before. What is Teranga? Like, you might have an idea.
Yeah, welcome.
Exactly, yeah, in Senegalese language, because actually the both of us were from Senegal, right, in West Africa. So Teranga, it means hospitality, welcome. That's the kind of nickname we have like in Senegal. And that's also what Teranga Valley is about. Everyone is welcome, no matter where you're from, what kind of background you have. And that being said, this is called Tam Tam, very traditional in Senegal as well. You might have seen it also in other countries. But we're gonna use this to make sure that we all know each other before we get started. So I have a timer. I'm a very annoying guy, by the way. I have a timer for 5 minutes, and I'm gonna be hitting the Tam Tam after every single minute, meaning that you guys are gonna have to switch a partner and get a few introduction of each other, right? So we're gonna have to stand up to do that for a second, right? Thank you.
5 minutes.
Yep.
The first part of our workshop series. So just a brief introduction on Colin and Sophie. So specifically Sophie, so after a shocking event in her personal life, Sophie started her therapeutic journey, right? She realized how powerful the impact of negative emotions are in life. She founded Essence Health Consulting to help people release their emotional blockages in order to connect to their essence to follow their dreams. She does her work with passion, and that's based on the motto that there's no failure in life, but only the result of an experience. So we'll be starting off with a group, different group setting, and then we'll be breaking up into smaller groups, and then later on we'll be going into bigger groups, into one big group. And just introduction on Colin. So Colin is a certified life coach. He's the founder of Oligye LIFE Coaching and the Shanghai Life Coaching Collective. Specializing in personal development, relocation, and career coaching, Colin coaches individuals and groups on how to reach their dreams, goals, and desires. So we have two very powerful individuals in the room today who will be helping us to reach and dig deep within ourselves. That little nagging voice that you always have that says, you could do better, you could do better, you could do it. That we often tend to shut down because of, emotional blockages or because of external forces. Tonight is the night where we're going to be able to really tap into that voice and listen to it if we let it speak for a little bit longer than what we usually allow. And then the biggest thing about tonight is that it's a very interactive workshop. So some of the greatest answers and some of the greatest questions may not necessarily come from Colin and Sophie, they're going to come from the room. So throughout the evening, if you have any questions, we have I'm guessing this is also from Senegal? Yes. We have a question box and we have some post-it notes. So during the evening, if you have any questions that you don't necessarily want to voice out loud, then you're more than welcome to put them in the box. We'll have this circulating throughout the night. If you have any questions, definitely ask questions throughout the night. Don't wait until the end. If you have a question, they're here to answer any and every question that you have. And without further ado, I'm going to hand over and enjoy.
All right, thank you. So, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
All right, I'm very happy to be here. It may look like this is a very easy thing, good setup, small room, but for me, this is very important. I've been looking forward to presenting to a group like you for years. We talk about trying to reach our potential. Years ago, my family is originally from Jamaica, and Jamaica is a very small island in the Caribbean. Quite frankly, it's a very poor island. My parents immigrated from Jamaica to Canada, and from Canada to the U.S. Growing up, I always had dreams of trying to impact people, motivate people, and doing that by being able to stand up in front of a room and talk proudly. So for me, this is part of my potential coming true. Right? So I want to thank you guys for taking time out on your Friday night in Shanghai. Right? I mean, think about that. I look around, I see people from all over the world, right? And here we are now together in Shanghai, China, one of the largest cities in the world. Most people, one of the largest cities that have the largest populations in the world. And we're here together on a Friday night. And more importantly, you guys paid to be here, right? Right? On a Friday night. So look, we have responsibility to make sure that you guys get your value. And I'm not worried about the money time. Forget the money. But with the money part, but with your time. You guys have sacrificed time on a Friday night in a busy city to be here with us. So we want to make sure you guys have a great time tonight and really, really learn. So tonight we have a very, it looks heavy, but it's really a short workshop agenda, okay? I'm not going to go through everything because you guys are going to experience it as we go through. So we talk about having a workshop. One lady says she's looking forward to the speeches, right? We're not doing any speeches, okay? I'm not doing a speech, right? This is a workshop. And typically, some folks want a speech or a lecture. And there's really, I would say, a key difference between a lecture or speech and a workshop. Now, who knows what the difference is? Interaction, yes. Both typically have the same outcome. You learn something, right? A lecture, you learn by listening, taking good notes. The workshop, you learn by interaction, right? Talking to your fellow workshop mates, right? And we're going to do that. Tonight, we expect a lot from you guys. We expect you guys to really interact. And there's really 3 key ways to do that. The first one is to ask questions. Now, we have this drum. I'm not sure where it is now, not the drum. We have this, yes, to put your questions in. If you're too shy to ask a question, please use that, right? Now, the old-fashioned way works. This works, right? Tried and true. It works no matter what. Put your hand up, people know you have what?
A question.
A question, right? So if you have a question, put your hand up, we'll answer your question. If, though, you don't want to interrupt or you're a little bit too shy, we'll pass this around later. Write your question on a Post-it. We're going to pass these out, and we'll get to try to get to all your questions during a transition or at the end. Great? All right, yes, sir. It was. Right? Old fashioned, but it's still good. The second way is to answer questions. Okay? I'm going to be asking a lot of questions, right? We are standing up here, and we know some things, but just because we're up here doesn't mean we're experts. We want to learn also, right? You guys want to learn from each other as well. So when we ask questions, please try to answer some questions, right? We have to ask questions, we have to answer questions. What's the last part? Interact and question things. I know a lot about a lot of things, but I know a lot about a few things, right? There's a lot more I can learn. So interact. If I say something that you think, I see it a different way, or you don't agree, put your hand up, right? Challenge it. That's how we learn. Those 3 ways. Ask questions, answer questions, and challenge what you hear. Don't be shy. We're here to learn from each other, and we're here to really make sure this is a truly an interactive environment. So I'll share with you guys what we expect from you. Interaction. One of the things that we need to do to make sure that we're giving you your money's worth is really understanding what you guys want to accomplish. Now, luckily, we went around and everybody talked about what they want to accomplish. A lot of you came here to meet new people. You're going to do that, right? And of course, you know, the more you interact, right, the more people you'll meet. But you also have an opportunity to walk out of here learning more about how to free your potential, how to reach your potential. So specifically, as it relates to freeing your potential or reaching your potential, we want to know what you want to achieve. And the reason we want to understand that now is as we go through the workshop, we want to make sure that you guys are getting your value. There may be some things you want we haven't thought about. So how are we going to do that? And now we're getting into the workshop mentality, right? Because now we're going to break into groups, right? We're going to form groups, and in your group, identify 2 to 3 things that you want to accomplish by the end of the workshop. Write down on here what I call your desired outcome. Your desired outcome. You want this outcome to be reached by the end of the workshop. 1 per sticky note. Now, the thing I love about the sticky notes is they're very, very small, right? You cannot write a book. True? So when you write your outcome, 1 per sticky note, and please, keep it brief, right? Don't go line. Keep it brief. When you talk about it, you can elaborate later. So we're going to, as a group, as separate groups, identify 2 to 3 things you want to accomplish. We'll then ask 1 person from the group to share those. And then we will we will first identify which ones we can meet, right? And so negotiate on the other ones. But we want to make sure we fully understand what you guys want to accomplish before we get started. Any questions? Okay, so you're going to see me walking around, wiping my brow. Don't worry. I get excited and I sweat a lot, right? Don't worry about that. I'll make it through. I have my water. I have my towel. We'll make it through. So I'm going to spend some time, and I'm going to allow you guys to form your own groups. Now, we really want to just take 5 minutes to do this.
This is
Okay, so this first exercise was actually preparation for the workshop, right? For what? For one, time control, right? We gotta make sure you finish on time. Instructions, right? Following instructions. So how many people have more than three things they want to accomplish in their group? Put your hands up high. Okay, here's a 2 to 3. All right, 2 to 3. So pick your top 3. Pick your top 3, right? Pick your top 3, okay? So What we're going to do now, we're going to pick top three. Right. Great. Okay. So we're going to.
Which one is you want to use?
We'll wait for you guys in the back. How much more time you guys need? You guys ready?
Yes.
In the back, you ready? Carolyn, you ready? You guys ready? Okay. We'll wait.
Okay, so we can just do it.
They're ready? Okay. So we're going to ask one person from each group to, of course, stand up and share their 2 to 3 desired outcomes for today's session.
Okay, so on you go. Okay.
I'll go first.
All right, so, that's so cool. Welcome.
That's one each.
Hey guys, can we, hello. So we're in a very, very small room. What that means is, if you have side conversations, we can't hear anything. So please just try to give the speaker, the right? Okay, go ahead, Leslie.
Cool. So our group came up with 3 things. The first is motivation. The second one is when you are ready for working for yourself. And the third one is to tap into subconscious potential.
Subconscious, sorry.
Subconscious potential.
Okay, can you help me, because we have to deliver, right? The second one.
Yeah, I can maybe explain this one.
Okay.
So I'm feeling pretty comfortable in my job because I'm a coach in a company. But then how do you transition to working for yourself? I still see the vision that I will not work one-on-one that much, but work with teams. But then when do you feel like you're ready?
Okay. And you want that answer from the workshop?
Well, that's my intention.
Yeah, we can touch on it. Hey, we'll go for it. Okay.
Yeah, because that's potential.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
And also, going off of the rules that you said, you should watch a video called Steve Harvey Jump. Has anybody watched that video about Steve Harvey? Yeah. He talks about like when you jump, you're never really ready. And you're going to fail naturally at first, and then eventually you figure it out.
So no problem. Who wants to go next?
Okay. So our group, we have actually 2 desired outcomes. One is to find out the meaning of what free potential means.
Okay.
Freeing one's potential.
Okay.
And the other one is to find out how to release ourselves from emotional blockages. And we have one thing we want to accomplish, and that is to ask at least one question for this workshop.
Okay, perfect. Let me have that,
We're really supportive to our guys. So
Thank you.
Who wants to go next?
We like to be inspired in whatever way that means to each of us. We would also like to connect with depth, not just on a surface level, but finding out more what that means to each of us. And learning, a learning exchange, but not just learning, but through others' experiences in life. And
Okay, thank you. Yeah, you go. Excellent. Right? To be inspired, like motivated, right? Be inspired. Learning and life exchange. We will definitely be learning and exchanging some life lessons today, right? And connect with depth. I like that one, right? Connect with depth, right? To really feel it, right? So we're going to try to give you guys a feeling as well. Thank you.
Yeah, our groups want to find out and maximize our potentials, capacities, and skills.
Okay.
And we want to know how to dare to do something really different and new. And we want to know how to get rid of negative influence by other people.
How to quit things, right?
Very structured.
This is great because we are being challenged. We're being challenged. How about you?
All right. Our 3 were become more receptive, become more self-aware, and become more goal-oriented.
We have those. Be more, you said the first one was
Be more receptive. More receptive.
open, okay, receptive, more self-aware, and more goal-oriented. Okay, so we can do this, right?
Yes,
All right. That's our confidence. We got this. Thank you, guys. So, as the evening goes on, we are going to sneak back and look at these to make sure that we're staying on course, right? So it's great that you guys shared with us what your desired outcomes are. I think Sasha, whoever read back here, one of the comments they had was understanding what is what?
The meaning
Yeah. And what does potential mean? Right? So again, because we're in a what? Workshop. We're in a workshop. We're going to go back to those groups, right? And take 5 minutes again. And each group come back with a definition of potential. Because the definition varies from people to people, culture to culture, right? What is this potential? So again, 5 minutes, right? Now, again, we want you to write that definition on one stick, okay?
External influence, run out of time.
So we have one team here that literally drew a diagram. So looking very forward to getting the diagram of right? So which group would like to go first?
Obama.
Okay. So our definition, potential is a natural talent, undeveloped skills, resource by utilizing which we feel accomplished, and something we can use to inspire others, which can differentiate us from others.
So potential is, say it again, please. Right, I want to understand. Right, that's the third question.
A natural
talent,
undeveloped skills.
Undeveloped skills.
Yes. A resource by utilizing which we feel accomplished. Or something we can use to inspire others, which differentiates us from others.
Okay, I think that's a great definition. You guys agree?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Can I have that, please? Because at the end, we're going to select one definition to go forward with, right? To make sure we're all on the same page, right? Okay, who wants to go next? You gotta stand up right quick.
Okay, so we began by brainstorming a few keywords, okay? So communication, energy, skills, capability, passion, purpose, and solution. So many of us, we had so much energy that we had to draw a diagram. So we began with communication, which then led to the energy, okay? The energy is the source that helps you to tap into your skills and your capabilities, which then drives your passion or your purpose. I've doubled the arrows so that you can see it can go either way. You can do passion first or purpose first, whichever. And then that helps you to solve problems, personal problems, other people's problems. That's what we did. Oh, we are 3 teachers, okay? This is what we do every day. And he's an entrepreneur. And it's not that big deal.
Great. Who's next? Obama.
Okay. Well, I claim that we looked at a lot of things, and we believe that when you talk about potential, what do you think is the height of any aspect of life today can be beaten tomorrow? So we look at potentials. Ability is as ability that has not been maximized. It's ability within you that we have not been maximized to the full potential. So
that.
Yeah.
Ability that has not been. How much you got?
The energy, we got the energy.
All right. For our definition,
Okay, here we go.
we wrote internal ability that has not been expressed yet.
Okay. So having ability that just hasn't been realized yet. Right? But you have a dream or desire to realize it. Okay. How about here? Let's everybody. Okay, great. Oh, okay, say stuff.
So it's for us, it's something you don't know how to do, but you can do it.
All right. I'm going to ask you to expound on that.
But there is different things that you can do very well, but you don't enjoy to do it.
Right.
But there is other things that you don't know how to do, but you have to try harder to reach it.
Okay.
So do what you like.
So read that again for me. I'm slow up here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Something you don't know how to do, but you can do it. Meaning,
You don't know yet. Right.
you don't know it how to do. You don't know how to read, but at one point you learn to read.
But you know that you have the skills or something that will help you to reach this thing that you want to do it.
Untapped potential.
Yeah. It's interesting when you read that, some of the people did this. Right. Okay, so as a group, I'll list some key phrases we have. We want to go forward for our definition of potential. Right? I think we heard a lot of what? Ability.
Ability, I'm against this word.
Energy.
Ability, energy,
Guys,
right?
I'm completely against this word ability. Because ability, I think everyone has the capacity to do anything. But ability, it's someone have ability, some don't have ability, but everybody, if you want to achieve something, you can do it.
Right.
No matter if you have, like how many people do disabled sports, for example, they don't have the ability, but they do things. So ability is nothing to see with potential.
So what you're saying is there's another word that we can change for ability, right? We're going to come to that too. That's very important, right?
Yeah.
So,
as long as you're a human being, you have potential. Because if you have a mouth, then that means you can learn how to talk. Therefore, you will know how to read, right? So even if you have a mouth, you can do the sign language.
right.
And I think you have the resources.
Yeah.
You have the resources to do something, but you don't know how to use these resources to reach your objective, your goal, or your dream, or whatever behind.
So internal resources.
Yeah. Or external.
Okay.
Because potential is also the capacity to use your external resources. So external can be, I don't know, can be a friend, can be a master, can be someone you want to learn from. And some people that can't do it because they have the fear of something, or because they don't dare, because they have been told that they can't disturb people, and this is all into belief. But this is also potential.
But doesn't it start from within though?
Self-awareness.
Yeah,
it has to start from
it
within.
starts from yourself.
And then it's realized, and that's when it's external.
Yeah.
But self-awareness of what? Self-awareness of wanting something more, right?
Finding why.
Something to improve upon, right? So I want to share something. I'm going to give it in the back, right? This little comment, I really like this. Because this really captures what happens to a lot of us, right? Somebody, we have all this potential inside, but we find a way to block it. We find a way to not really let it free, right? I think most of you guys have heard of Winston Churchill. Very famous quote. Continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking your potential. We talked before about not liking the word ability, right? Take ability out, throw it away, it's not hard. Forget it, right? Effort. I think effort is very important. We talk about trying to reach any potential, right? Some may argue, and I have written here, that potential is useless without effort. What do you guys think about that?
Yes, I agree with that. I would disagree with effort being the only thing.
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
What else is there? What else is there?
I believe. I mean, if you're going to the west looking for sunrise, you're never gonna get it. No matter how much effort you put in it, right? So it has to be something more, to change your approach, to see what's not working and do something else, So if you do like same thing and it's not working, it doesn't matter how much effort you put.
But the effort will make you change direction.
Maybe it's the wrong
Well,
word.
effort. If your effort is intact, you at some point realize that you're on the wrong path and you change direction.
Right. I want to go back to what you said about if you go to the west looking for the sun to rise up, right? That's an impossibility, right? So potential cannot be based on impossibility, right? For potential, there must be the possibility, even if it's small, but there must be a possibility to have any potential, right?
Does it not just start off with a thought?
Keep going.
Thought created everything.
Right.
Thought created everything that we're sitting and we're looking at.
Right.
It started with a thought. If you said to somebody 50, 60 years ago, you go to a hole in the wall, you put in a card, you plunk in a number and you get out money, it says shut up.
Right. Or you pay by using your computer. Your phone. Yeah.
And it all is energy, I think, as well, and it's that positivity that where does it start from? Because then if your thoughts are not positive, then you believe you don't have the potential. So it is. Sorry, I'm talking like
no.
As a STEM teacher of energy and science and who we are and potential and effort.
Yeah. And we're going to get into that in a moment. Let me go a little faster here. But what's your question?
I have a question. For me, it's a lot about goal. And I've experienced this myself also, defining your goal. And once you know what's your goal, you're gonna do everything to reach it. But finding your goal, finding your why, finding
yeah.
What are you doing?
Even when you dream, there's things that can block you from using your potential.
Because it means that they are not well defined or they are not precise enough on the monthly basis, on daily basis. So you cannot input the effort from my experience.
We're gonna go into some tips or things you can do, right? And goals are one of those. Right? We're gonna go into that. I have to go fast because I need to hand it over. So on the same thread, that effort is a key ingredient to pushing your passion. If effort is really that important, we have to impact what we have to really protect what impacts our ability to give effort. Does that make sense?
Protect your energy.
Right. If things are blocking, if somebody says something about quitting things, right? If something's blocking us from putting that effort forward that leads to high likelihood of reaching potential, we have to adopt that. And it goes directly into what impacts the amount of effort that we put into things, right? People, what else?
Negative thoughts.
Belief. Desire.
Yeah.
Right? Somebody says something about doing things they don't want to do. Desire.
Programming.
Right? Confidence.
Self-esteem.
Confidence, self-esteem, right? And one of my keywords, and I'm going to do that hand this off, is emotion. Right? Emotion. And I was telling her a couple days ago, my EQ, my emotional intelligence is terrible. I'll be the first to admit it. It used to be good, right? But compared to some people I've met who are really high on EQ, right? I have ways to go, so I look forward to learning it. Now, Sophie's going to take us through the bridge, right? The impact. How do you really free up your potential using and being in touch with your emotions?
To answer your question, I will just give you some more information about my personal life, and you will understand why I came to do what I do today. So, a few years ago, I would not have been able to be here tonight and just talk in front of you because I was not able to do that. I would have died. Because when I was young, I fight a lot to be accepted as I was, with my weakness and with my strengths. But only my weakness has been I've been ping-ponged. I started fighting, and when I turned 18, I was exhausted to fight, to spend my life fighting with my parents, my teacher, and I said, okay, I gave up with everything, and I just did what I was asking to do. So be quiet, be nice, work at school, and be polite to people. So I cut myself from me. I cut myself from other people because I was convinced that I was a failure. And whatever I would try to do, I will never succeed. So I followed my life, and I came here. I never asked myself, okay, he asked me to come, but do I really want to come? I never asked myself because I was cut off from emotion, so I could not feel anything anymore. Neither emotion, pain in my body, nothing. I was just blocked. I had my mind and my body in another parts. So I just organized my life around my family, my daughters, my husband, and one day my family exploded. So I didn't have anything left. And I was convinced that I would die because from my childhood, I knew that I could not live without someone because I was not able to do it. So hopefully in my childhood, I built a lot of resilience, and I had a strong character because I fought for 18 years. And so I just used my resilience and my strong character to say in my mind, okay, I will go through this. I start coaching, I start to work on myself, and it's how I started my therapeutic journey. And I realized that I was blocked with my emotion, and that's the reason why I could not follow my dream. And I even give up with my dream because I've been told that, Sophie, give up with your dream. You're not strong enough. You will fail. I said, okay. So it's how I flew the flow. And then, so when this happened to me, later on, I realized that it was a wake-up call because I was living the life of someone else, but not my life, my own life. And it's how I went to emotion and whatever, and when I relieved all my emotion blockages, all my belief from what I've been told when I was young, I reached my dream. And I went with my dream, and I set up my first company. Then I closed it, I went back to Paris, I set up another company, I closed it, I came back to Shanghai, and I set up my company. And now I work, and my work is my passion, and it's something I wanted to do since my childhood, but I've been told not to do. So, regarding emotion, so do you have any clue what is emotion for you? What is emotion for you? Feeling emotion.
Energy,
What do you mean about energy?
Energy, emotion, something that moves.
Okay.
I feel like this is something alive that gets triggered inside of me.
Okay, so it's inside of you.
Yeah.
Okay.
To say you can feel a feeling, an emotion, before you can put a name to someone if they come round the corner. It's like your body. It's your
Sensation.
It's what you feel, it's a sensation. Yeah. It's a sensation.
Okay, so there's a sensation coming with the emotion, you mean? Or it's something you put together, sensation, emotion, it's the same thing for you?
Emotion of the sensation will help you to take decisions or influence decision.
The sensation you mean?
Emotion is for me a sensation that influences decision or action.
Okay, so there's an emotion which brings sensation, which helps you
Lead to action.
lead to action.
It's a feeling.
Yeah. Sorry?
Feeling?
Alors, there's emotion. Emotion is something very short. Usually emotion is just 1 minute. It's something that comes to your body and then goes. If it lasts, it's called feeling. And when it lasts, it becomes your personality. Wow. Because it's recorded in your brain. And how our brain works, it's the repetition. So the more we repeat an action, the more we repeat a thought. For example, someone which convinced that he's a failure, the more he will say in his mind, I am a failure, I am a failure. it creates neuronal network, and this will remain in his brain. It will be recorded in his brain, and it will come up each time. Do you want to say something? No? So the definition of emotion, it's a physical reaction triggered by an outside or inside stimulus that tell you how we feel in a specific situation. So which means when we say outside, it because emotion comes from your senses. So it can be a smell, something you hear, something you see, something you touch. And inside, it's a pain in your body. A pain can bring emotion or a thought, positive thought or a negative thought will bring emotion, which means emotion give messages. They give you messages. So when you are cut off from your emotion, you don't benefit of the messages that the emotion comes to tell you. For example, if you feel anger about a situation, that means that maybe your value has not been respected, or you didn't feel respected as a human being. When you feel guilt, that means that maybe you have done something that it's not according to your personality or who you are. So your emotion will give you a message. And from this message, you need just to think, okay, why do I feel this? What this emotion is telling me, and why do I feel that? And then you, as soon as you understand, you can move forward. But the emotion has to be relieved. Because if you keep your emotion inside and you don't express it, as she comes to tell you a message, she will come back. And she will come back, and the more she will come back, the more she will be stronger. And if you keep going and not listening your emotion, this can afterwards come with illness or more pain in your body. So you need to listen your emotion. This is the first point. And if we look at the words, emotion means moving out, as you say. It's something that puts you in action. It's something that comes from inside and puts you in action. So basically how it works, how emotion works, how it works in the brain. So the brain is divided in three parts. We have the reptilian brain, which is our survival brain. It is in charge of make us safe. So is in charge of our breathing, of the digestive system, is in charge also of make us move when there's a danger. Either we fight or we live. And then we have the emotional brain. So here is stored all our emotion from the past. Our body, our cells, and our emotional brains recorded everything we experienced from the gestation time to now. Everything is recorded here. There's the amygdala, what we call amygdala, which is where the emotion is. And then there's another part where is the memory. So the memory, it means how did I feel, where was it, who was there. And so it's here. Here is what we call it's the neocortex. This is the rational brain. So here is where there's the language, the rationalization, mathematics, we say intellectual brain. So how does it work? When there's a danger, our amygdala, she's in alert. So she declares there's alert states. Here it will help us to make a movement, to make an action, to fight against this danger. And here, his role is to say, okay, calm down, everything is fine. You don't have to be too worried about something. So, for example, for people who are afraid of spider, when a spider comes, what happens? She's active. So here is active too, And he comes to say, okay, calm down, it's just a small spider, she won't do anything to you, and then you smudge the spider and it's done. When the danger is too high, when the intensity is very high, it is disconnected, it's out of order. You can't be in touch anymore with the reality of the life. It's totally disconnected. And you are only in your emotion, and you think that what happened to you is the truth because you see the life through your emotion, because you don't have any more contact with the rational brain. So what does it mean in terms of emotion? That means that because all our emotion, all our past experience are recorded in our brain, when in the present life we face situation linked with past situation, everything comes up. What we felt, how we behave, and who was there. For example, if we take the example of a small child is in the class, he's doing a presentation, and then all his classmates are laughing at him because his zip is open or whatever. What happened? He will blush, he will start shaking, he will feel the shame, and it just one thing is just go out of this room and hide himself for the rest of his life. Later on, as an adult, if he has a presentation to do in front of anyone, maybe he will be able to come on stage, maybe he could not, because this is recorded here. So, regarding potential, we all have potential, we all have talents. But according to what you have been told when you were young, it can just be stuck somewhere in your body, and you can't contact your potential because your emotion are stuck, because your emotion blocked your potential to come out. Emotion, your thought, talking about this small voice who come in your mind, you can't do that. You will fail. You are not able to. It's when you have this voice come in your mind, just try to see who was telling you that when you were young? Who this voice belonged? Because this is not your voice. So all emotions are good, whatever the emotion, they are all good because they come to give a message. They are not good when they control you, when they take the control over your conscience. And this happens a lot. And when your emotion control you, it's when you don't use your potential. Because you have this small voice coming in your mind, you have this sensation if in your body, you have this anxiety always here, and because you feel this sensation in your body, and because this small voice is there, you are stuck. So even though you have your objective, even though you have a goal, you know what you want to do with your life, there's something that pull you out. So in this situation, you need to first understand what is your fear, which fear it is. Is it a fear? Is there which belief there's behind the fear? What I've been told when I was young. It can be very young. Most of the time we build our belief between 0 to 6. Because it's when the brain starts to, when we are born, we only have these two. These two are working. This one is under construction. And this one is mature at 40 years old. Yeah, between 35 and 40 is when it's mature. That's why sometimes you can see some people around 40, they're more quiet, they don't explode as they used to do. It's because they are able to put a distance between, okay, the situation, my emotion, do I have to overreact? No, I'm fine. And so 40 years old. So, and before, until I would say 18, 20, it's like a Gruyere cheese. Sorry, it's very French or Swiss, but it's like there's a lot of hole inside, and this hole will be filled by your experience. So, according to your experience, bad or good, it's how your rational brain will be filled, and that's why. And a very important thing is that 95% of our thoughts come from the subconscious. So all the decisions we take most of the time, they are they are taken with our subconscious. That means with what you built your personality when you were young. That means with what you have been told when you were young. So meaning it's most of your decisions are taken according to other people, but not your conscience, because only 5% of our decision, choice, and everything are conscious. So that's why it's important to work on our past experience and to disconnect what you have experienced and what you have been told, because again, we all have the skills to reach our potential, but there's some emotion that pull us out from our potential. So just for you to understand how it works, I will ask you to close your eyes, to take a deep breath, and to feel your body more relaxed, and I will guide you on how to see how our thoughts can influence our body. We can control our body. We can have the control as long as we are not controlled by our emotion. We can take over the control. You just need to realize that you are controlled by your emotion. It's not you. It's something else. It's something that tells you things, but this voice doesn't belong to you. It's the voice of someone else. So now. Sorry, can you just put the other one? So now I will give you a tool to work on your emotion. So this technique is called EFT, and it stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. It's a body and mind technique, because when we're working on EFT, we work either on a specific situation or on the pain on the body or on a specific emotion. And when we start EFT, we talk about this situation, this pain or this emotion, and this brings the emotion up. And in the meantime, we tap on specific points on our body to send a message to our brain that, okay, you can calm down, it's okay, everything is fine. Because when we tap, we work directly on our nervous system, and the nervous system is also like the reptilian, they work together. It's what makes us in action, either to fly, either to fight, but it helps us to make action. So, and when we tap, we help our energy, our vital energy, to go up, to come up, because when we have negative emotion, our energy is very low. And when your energy is very low, you attract in your life people that have the same vibration of you. So the more you raise your energy, the more you attract other people, and the more you are stimulated by people that you attract. So, and why do we tap on certain point? Because it's based on acupuncture and on traditional Chinese medicine. And the meridian is like a river that helps our vital energy to flow everywhere in our body. And this energy helps our organ to work properly. Our emotions are linked to organ. So when you have an emotion blocked on our organ can't work properly. That's why you can have sometimes issue of sleeping, you can have back pain, you can have headache, and sometimes worse. It's because your organ is blocked, because there's an emotion that remains in your body and needs to be out. So we will do the technique together. So we will use sentences, and as we will use while we are telling this sentence, we are tapping at the same time. So the point is, first we tap on the edge of the end, telling 3 sentences roughly the same. Then we tap on the head, on the top of the hand, on the edge of the eyebrow, the side of the eyes, below the nose, the chin, the how do we call this? Prayer. Well, so this is what we call in energetic the emergency points. So if, I don't know whether you're in a situation and you have a very strong energy come up and you can't deal with your emotion and you are losing your control, just massage here or tap here, taking deep breaths. And you can use what we call the earth coherence. That means when you inhale, you count 6 in your mind, then you blocked 6, and when you exhale, your exhalation has to be longer than your inhale. So combining both helps the body to release, to be quiet, and then you can have the control over your game. So here, then below the breast, here, below the armpits, and on the finger. So on the finger, it's on the outside of the nail, the start of the nail. So the thumb, index, the middle finger. This one, as adult, we don't tap on this one because the meridian of this one is here. So we go to the pinky, we come back to the edge, we tap here, and we finish here. So I will say sentences and think of a problem or emotion or something that you want to relieve now. Think about something, and then say the sentence out loud with me. But think about your problem, emotion, or whatever, and you don't repeat what I say, even unless you want to repeat what I say. Okay? So let's go. Even though I have this fear.
Even though I have this fear.
Talking in front of an audience.
Talking in front of an audience.
I love myself.
I love myself.
Deeply as I am.
Deeply as I am.
Even though I am afraid.
Even though I am afraid.
To make mistakes.
To make mistakes.
When I speak in front of people.
When I speak in front of people.
I respect myself.
I respect myself.
Even though I feel anxious.
Even though I feel anxious.
Talking in front of people.
Talking in front of people.
My heart beats.
My heart beats.
My hands are sweaty.
My hands are sweaty.
I accept myself.
I accept myself.
Deeply as I am.
Deeply as I am.
This fear on my body.
This fear in my body.
This anxiety in my chest.
This anxiety in my chest.
I am afraid of making mistakes.
I am afraid of making mistakes.
I am afraid of being judged.
I am afraid of being judged.
This anxiety on my chest.
This anxiety on my chest.
I'm shaking.
I'm shaking.
I'm afraid of making mistakes.
I'm afraid of making mistakes.
I'm afraid of being judged.
I'm afraid of being judged.
This fear on my chest.
This fear on my chest.
This anxiety.
This anxiety.
I'm afraid of telling something wrong.
I'm afraid of telling something wrong.
My heart beats.
My heart beats.
My hands are sweating.
My hands are sweating.
This scare on my body.
This fear on my body.
I'm afraid of talking in front of an audience.
I'm afraid of talking in front of an audience.
This anxiety on my chest.
This anxiety on my chest.
Take a deep breath. So now see how is your body, how do you feel in your body? Do you feel something change? Is it the same? Do you feel something higher? Check inside what happened in you. Does someone see any difference? How do you feel? More relaxed? More calm?
I feel a bit of numbness in my hands.
Numbness?
Numbness.
That you didn't feel it before?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I feel in my heart that I don't care if I feel any difference there.
You feel in your heart
That
that
I
what?
don't care if I feel any difference. Meaning that I'm not forcing myself to actually feel a difference.
Ah, yeah,
I
sure,
realize
of
in
course.
that way.
But that's people
And I realize
feel
that
it,
way.
other people don't feel. It depends on people.
It's awesome, right?
Yeah, so it's okay if you don't feel anything. It's okay too. The most important is to when you work on yourself, it's not really about the technique. It's just about how you feel with the technique. So it's important to choose a technique where you feel confident with, and there's also people that they don't trust the technique. In terms of cognition, you understand. Okay, I understand now why I'm here today because this happened to me. Blah blah blah. But if you don't relieve the emotion, you're still stuck because you don't know how to overcome this emotion. So you realize that I can't do that, I can't accomplish that because I have this fear of failure, success. Some people, they're stuck because they are afraid of success. And when you do that, when you know this, what do you do with it? How do you deal with that? See, if you don't have the tool to relieve this emotion and to understand where this emotion comes from. And when you understand the root cause of your emotion, you can disconnect your brain of this and recording in your brain, store in your brain something new. So then you work on the negative part, and afterward you work on the positive part. Okay, I feel this, but I have resources or I have things that can help me to do that. Is it clear?
Yeah. I was going to say that it was quite interesting that with the tapping, it almost distracted. Like I know, like you said, there was like we were saying like almost negative kind of affirmations, but the tapping kind of distracted from that, in the sense that it kind of just moved your mind and you concentrated more on the body and what you were feeling.
Exactly.
So it was an interesting kind of experience, moving from, just what you're saying and what you're affirming, but feeling the actual physical of what you're doing.
Yeah, because as it works at the same time on the mind and the body, this helps to reconnect your body and mind, because some people they're here and the body there, but they are in, so they work. They really work closely together, because what you feel here is here also. So it helps to really reconnect body and mind, and it's how you can find the source of the situation. So what happened before that put me in this situation? Do you have any question?
So it'd actually be a good time to bring in the box if everyone has their post-it cards. Maybe we can actually just start writing questions and then I'll circulate to start with here.
Yeah.
I have another question. Like in the tapping, like when you have the positive affirmation, you just do the same, but you say.
You do the same. The tapping is always the same.
Okay.
If you have specific emotion, you can tap on specific point, but the tapping is the same. See how is your body. For example, you have a weight on your chest, this weight on my chest, and what you can do also, it's before to start tapping, it's just on a scale from 1 to 10, from 0 to 10, how much is my emotion? Or how much is the weight on my chest? And then after the tapping, you can see if the weight is still at 6, if the emotion is still at 6, if it's higher, or if it's lower. So this gives you a hint of, okay, how the tapping helped me to feel calm or quiet. Yeah.
Just now you said some of the beliefs that we have can give us a certain kind of belief. But how can we change this kind of belief? Like it's a wrong belief, but it's just in your subconsciousness and you don't know how where that it comes from. But it's just in your mind. So how can you change your
tapping? Just the tapping. Even though I think that I love myself deeply as I am, and while tapping, emotion will come up. So when you release the emotion, other things from the past come, and you can see where does this belief come. Either you have been, I know, for example, we have 5 driver area. Don't disturb people, be the best, or be perfect. And I don't remember the 2 other, but most of the time we really have 5 driver, and they drive our life. It's because sometimes, it's not because your parents say you have to be perfect, it's because they show you that you have to be perfect, because the mom was perfect, because we also we grew up in a scam, and most of the time subconsciously we do the same. because we saw something and we repeat that things. Even though we, at the teenagehood, we were saying, I don't want to be like my mom, I don't want to be like this, I don't want to do the same. Subconsciously, you grew up in this. So it's what you believe is good. And for example, also there's people, some people, they live isolated because they have social anxiety. Because when you grew up in a family where there's violence, where there's a very hard world, you see the world the same way as the environment you grew up. So which belief you developed, the world is dangerous and people are dangerous. So you don't go out of your house. You go to work or to go to school or whatever. Then you come back, you lock yourself in your house and you refuse invitation, you refuse everything. It's because for you, the world is dangerous because you grew up in a very dangerous environment. And this is a belief you can work on just tapping on EFT. And you can relieve your belief. I think you had one question, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to make a connection between two situations here.
Yeah.
A situation where you are afraid of confronting something you know. You believe you can do that, but you're afraid of the situation. Like, you are asked to come and speak in front of the audience, but because you're afraid of making mistakes. This is one. The other one is that a situation where you're confused. They ask you something and you think you can do that, but you're just confused on what to do. Is that the situation you need to tap, or when you are afraid that you need to do this stuff?
You can tap anytime you want and whatever. You can tap even though you're confused, you can tap even though you're afraid. It's the most important is just to
calm you down.
To point the what makes you feel this. So if it's the confusion, even though I feel confused, I love myself deeply as I am. Because when you do that, what do? You point a feeling, something. On the other way, you say, okay, even though I know I have this, I accept myself. That means what the message you send to your brain is, it's okay. It's okay, even though I have this confusion or this fear, I love myself, and it's okay to feel this way. There's no worry, there's no matter about this. So the EFT is a very easy technique. It's very easy to learn, and you can go on YouTube. There's a lot of things about EFT. There's a lot of people. Sometimes there's 2 hours video on YouTube just to explain the technique, how the techniques works, and you can really search on YouTube and find everything you need about EFT, how you choose it, how to tap, what to say, but it's very simple. Just don't complicate the technique. Just use your word. I feel this in my body. I love myself, and that's it. And see, okay, how do I feel now after the tapping? How do I feel? How is my mind? Does my mind is more clear? How is my body? Do I feel relaxed? Or because sometimes when you tap, the emotion can be stronger. Okay, what happened? And when you tap, focus on the problem, focus on the situation and fix the situation. And after the tapping, go back to your situation and see how is the situation. Do you put some more distance? Do you see the situation with another angle? Or do you still feel this emotion regarding this situation? If you don't feel anything, okay, that's it. If you still feel something, keep tapping until you feel totally relieved.
It's going to be very challenging to reach your potential if you have emotional damage, right? We talked earlier about confidence. Now, a lot of times we talk ourselves into reaching our potential. We talk ourselves out of reaching our potential. So you have to have techniques on how to really handle your self-confidence and how to build yourself up. So I took plenty of notes from what she was saying there, because I know when I'm a guy saying this, right? But when I'm in an emotional mess, I don't work on anything, right? My goal is nothing. So understanding, having techniques on how to really control your emotions and calm yourself down and regain your focus is very, very important. So as the goal of the workshop, you guys know the workshop, we always have to end what I call my favorite part of the workshop. This is where we make our commitments to each other, right? We want to talk about what we're going to do after we leave the workshop. What can we actually do to free our potential, to reach our potential. Somebody mentioned earlier, have goals, right? What else? What else can we do, right? So we're going to do this activity faster. So a lot of times we get together, have a workshop, have a lecture, and we talk about goal setting, we talk about trying to go from where we are today here to over here, which is what? Our potential, right? Trying to reach something greater, trying to gain something. A lot of times we get together like this, but we don't do a very important step, and that's make a real commitment, right? So you see here, you mean we have to actually make an effort? Yes, we have to make an effort. I would rather make a promise to myself. We all do that, right? You know, I'll promise I'm going to start exercising tomorrow. I promise myself I'll get up at 3 a.m. tomorrow, right? And you'll do it tomorrow, but you won't do the after tomorrow.
Yes.
Right? Right? Sometimes having a commitment with other people helps you stay honest. But finally, so if I make a commitment to your potential, do I have to meet it? Yeah, of course you have to meet it, right? And what we're doing all together, we're all taking notes, right? We're all writing this down in our mental journals. Because all of this stuff is what's going to help us to reach our goals. So how do we actually go from where we are, right, to where we want to be over there? We don't have to go from here to here overnight, right? All we have to do is go from here and make a little progress over here. Call it a baby step, call it a push, call it whatever you want to call it, right? So now we want to talk about how do we do that? Steps now, right? What are some actual things that we can do? And actually, what are some actual things that we're going to do, right? So our commitment is we want to identify 5 things that individually we'll commit to, right? After we leave here. Because I assume those of you that came here wanting to free your potential actually have a goal. Actually have something you want to accomplish. And even though you came more to meet new people, you have a goal also, right? So as a group, let's quickly identify what are some things that we think we need to do to free our potential and to reach our potential. What's some ideas? Somebody said set goals, right?
You set like short term, medium term, and long term goals.
Okay.
Like daily, weekly.
They all work. They all work, right? The important thing is set some goals, right? If you don't have any goals, then what are you going after? Right? Set goals. What else?
Some of self-care as well, I think.
Say again?
Self-care.
Self-care.
I feel I can't reach any goals.
What does that mean, self-care?
Self-love. Yeah, self-love. Yeah, just kindness, knowing when you're pushing yourself too hard, knowing just. I mean, it's a word, but it's a feeling, it's emotion, it's a thought, it's.
So take care of yourself.
Yeah, just taking care of yourself and knowing when to rest up, really eating well, and not being that. I mean, for me, I'm either one or the other. I always try to get balance, I think.
Okay, so set
that's
goals.
why I'm struggling to answer it.
So set goals and take better care of yourself.
Yeah, to reach your goals. I think
make a plan and commit to the plan and follow the plan like it was a habit, like something that you have to do every single day without stopping.
So make a plan. Is making a plan and setting goals the same thing?
No. Because the plan is a call to action.
I agree with the routine.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I had problem to fix myself goal, even if I have 1 million goal. But by organizing routine to myself, and I still have problem to do it, I achieve more goal and I achieve more steps.
Okay. Setting a routine, making a plan, treating yourself better.
I think, well, that's the routine. I think what I'm trying to say. I think you need people like-minded to help. Yeah, I think you need. You can't do it. We're social creatures. We're social creatures.
Right. That's a very interesting part. What you said. Right. You want to be around people who are in the same mindset. Right. It also means that you also want to quit things. And by quitting things, that's things and people.
Yeah.
Right?
Toxic.
Sometimes, and I'm surprised nobody talks about this, one of the most important, I always say most important, right? But a very important factor in reaching your potential is your self-confidence. Right? If you don't think you can do it on day one, that's okay. Keep trying. Right? But at some point, you must go from, I don't know, I think I can. Right? You have to build up your self-confidence. And sometimes, by having a goal and setting a routine or plan and following that slowly helps you build up self-confidence, right? It slowly helps you build up a pattern. As she was saying, when you have that negative history in your mind, right, it's hard to overcome that. But once you start building a new pattern, different neural networks go, right? You start opening things up and you start realizing that you can have a higher chance of reaching your potential, right? So we have goals, we have routines, we have patterns, not patterns, we have choosing yourself better. But what else do we have?
Embracing embarrassment.
Embracing embarrassment.
Yeah.
But what do you mean by that?
Humble yourself and don't compare yourself to anyone else. And embracing embarrassment, it's your own life, right? So if you go up there and you're scared to talk, it's all in your mind because you're thinking of other people judging you for how you behave, right? But if you reversely enjoy that process, then you don't care anymore. And then you start actually being you, and then you just do whatever you have to do.
Right. Great.
I think it's great to have goals, but goals shouldn't be too lofty. They should be very specific.
Right.
They should be refined, and they should be done in stages.
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to just completely fall off.
I agree. And my assumption here is all of you guys can develop smart goals, right? I'm assuming you guys can figure out what is a good goal, what is an unrealistic goal.
Also, to double down on embarrassing yourself, everybody has their own goal or dream or vision that they want, and not everybody will agree with that. So when people don't agree with it, that's their opinion. And your vision is your vision, and just keep pushing on with that.
Yeah. I see. You have to have blind faith in yourself.
Yeah.
Right? When folks say no and doubt you, it doesn't matter what you think, right? It's hard to do that, to be honest with you. It's hard to do that. Right?
Because you're scared of their judgment.
Right.
You don't care anymore.
So, and sometimes when people talk to you, they talk with their own fear. But it's their fear, it's not your fear.
Yeah, they see your fear.
Exactly. So that's why you have to keep straight with your objective. Okay, in his case, it's his problem, but I know I can do it.
Yeah. So a couple things that I wrote down earlier. Accept failure.
Yeah.
Yes. Everybody get that one? Okay, I won't go deep into that. Take action often. We talked about having a routine. Take action often. Keep doing something. It doesn't have to be the right thing, right? Just keep doing something. Keep trying things. I have developed toughness, right? Get tough. Don't give up, right? Because you're going to come into when you want to get to potential, it's not a straight line, right? You're going to come up to roadblocks. You have to stay tough. You have to persevere. And one of my favorite ones here is embrace change, right? Because again, typically, when we're trying to reach our potential, it sort of means, go back on our various definitions, it sort of means we're trying to go from where we are now to another state, right? We're trying to achieve more things. So that means we're going to be making a change. And a lot of times, we're just so comfortable in who we are, even if we're negative, we're still comfortable with it, right? We don't like it, but still comfortable, right? And even with positive, right? Sometimes we can't be as positive, we have more realistic and a little more non-positive in order to change. But the main thing is embrace change, right? If you want to go somewhere where you are not now, if you want to reach your potential or free potential, you have to prepare yourself for changes. And to me, that's one of the, I always say the biggest, right? It's one of the important factors, right? Because they all are, right? But it is a key factor in really reaching and freeing potential, embracing change and getting ready and actually working with change. Okay, before we wrap up, any questions? Yes, sir.
It's not a question, but I just want to say, I think at the end of the day, everything is very personal. even the way that we set goals, even the way that we say some people they want to go to the routine, I think the most important is to be content about our journey. I feel like when we reach that point, this is when we can find the balance in a lot of things.
I like that. But what happens is, when we reach it, what do we do?
Want more.
One more. One more.
It never ends.
One more. One more. I was asking somebody today, I think so, Sophie, when you reach your potential, what happens?
You get in your comfort zone.
Well, you can become unstoppable as well. If you can be in that flow and momentum.
You get lazy.
You can go either way. You get more confident.
And we can talk about that offline, about getting lazy after you reach your potential. That may be a 1 or 2 day thing, but typically you want to get back onto it.
So we're going to start with the questions that we got earlier. Feel free, if the question, you want to elaborate a bit on the question, like very briefly, to just stop me. Okay, so the first question is, no effort, no emotion. In your opinion, does this mean we need to suffer by doing effort, or can it be easy? I'm not sure who it's directed at.
No effort, no emotion. If you read it again?
No, okay, so I wrote it one. So what I did here is I feel like effort is somehow a word that is used maybe in a negative way also, to say that you need to suffer to get what you want. So I feel like, okay, I'm answering my own question. But my take on this is that when you're doing something that you like to do, it's not really effort, because you can spend hours and someone will say, oh, that's effort. But for you, it's just taking action towards something you like to do. So I don't know if you have some take on this, because we saw a lot about potential and making effort.
Right. To me, I think that I didn't want to make it sound like I think effort is a negative thing. I think effort is great. You have to have effort, right? And the sweet spot is where you put forth effort in something you love doing, right? And that also helps keep you motivated, keeps you going if you're really passionate about doing it. Sometimes we find ourselves getting the dream job we wanted, right? And then we find out, the effort, it feels like work now, right? So sometimes there's a fine line between enjoying what we're doing and I talk about taking the pureness out of things, right? We go from doing, they say, if you do something for free and it makes you feel good, then keep doing it. But sometimes it's hard work, and it feels like hard work. But I think effort is very positive. But effort to me is definitely needed to reach potential. I'm not sure I answered the question there, but I look at that as more positive, not in a negative way. And you don't need to suffer. You don't need to suffer, okay? You don't need to suffer in life.
Because it's something you're happy to reach. Yeah. So it's just, if you're in a comfort zone, for example, it's just to find the strength to go out of this comfort zone, because it's so easy to just be lazy because you reach your objective. It's okay, I reached my objective, I'm okay now, I don't need to do anything else. So it's just to find to enjoy first that you reach this objective, enjoy and do things, and then set up another one and find the strength to get out of this comfort zone and see what you will gain of going out, which kind of other potential you can use, or which kind of talent you can use, or you can realize, or you can develop doing in another direction.
To me, it's like infinite actually. I don't think you can reach that potential in a way that you can express it, the way you can do it. There's like infinite ways you can do it. Even when you reach things that you thought, as you said, like you get the job that you want, still after you want something else, and then
It's consistent, it's continuous. So the next question, we have two more. What is the connection between food and mental health?
Whatever we feel, it depends on people, but most of the time when we have emotion that we keep inside, we need to feel the hole in our body, because this emotion brings a hole in the body. So subconsciously, what we will do to fill this hole, if we don't have anything else, we eat. So sometimes we eat to be rewarded. Sometimes we eat because we feel okay. I have a tough day. Oh, I can eat my piece of chocolate. So this is very well. We can eat also because I feel sad today. I'm alone. There's no one. Okay, I will just eat bad food. And so it's all about emotion. Emotion brings to food if the emotion is not relieved. And it's in both ways. You can stop eating because of emotion, because you might have been told that you are not good enough, you are not good, you are whatever, and you can also do the opposite. It's a lot because most of the time when we eat, it's because there's a need that is not filled. So we will fill this need by the food or cigarettes, alcohol, whatever, but there's a need and this need is not filled. So you have to find what is this need, which need is not filled, and why do I feel it by the food.
Very interesting. And okay, so I'm guessing this question refers to the tapping. The question is, how long does it take to work, and how has this personally helped you?
Me, it changed my life. The tapping changed my life. I started with coaching, and the coaching helped me in the cognition part. So with the coaching, I realized that I had fear. I know that I have fear, but I didn't know how to overcome my fear. And it's when I heard about tapping, so I tried the tapping. And with the tapping, I went deeper, and the tapping is very fast. You have an instant relief when you tap on something very specific. When you really pinpoint the emotion, the thought, the emotion, and the sensation in the body, it's really immediate. Sometimes few sessions just need. I work with a woman. She had issue with self-confidence. We did 5 sessions, and then she was okay, and she just goes straight to her goal. So as you pinpoint your emotion, your physical sensation, and the thought behind, it's very fast. And working on very specific situation then brings that. And yes, and to me, it totally changed my life, and I use it in my daily life, and it helped me to work to go over any situation.
Thank you. And then now we have our last question. How to dare to live a totally different life, but when do you know for sure you'll be happier?
So how to dare what? To change a life?
To live a totally different life.
Different life. Okay.
Life. But when? Yeah. How do you dare to live a totally different life? And when do you know for sure you'll be happier?
It's physical sensation. It's hard to define it because happiness is different for everyone. So it's you feel the happiness. You feel the happiness in your body. You feel it in every day. When you wake up, you feel you're happy. You feel the emotion. Again, emotion is not in the mind. Emotion is on your body. So if you feel your body always relaxed, if you're happy with what you do in your life, if you're happy with the people you meet, with your job, whatever, with your family, this is the first happiness. And how to dare to change life, it's okay, I want to change my life, and I have my confidence. I know I can do it, and whatever people think, it's my life. And I just get away. One thing important, get away of toxic people. Because toxic people talk a lot of energy and they can really pull you down. So it's I know it's hard to say, it's hard to hear, why this is that, but trust me, toxic people take a lot of energy and they can just destroy your life. Because they are always there, they are always telling you what you have to do and how you have to do and how bad you are. And sometimes you didn't realize that these people is just taking you away from your objective life or whatever. So just be surrounding that first people accept you exactly as you are. People that don't judge you.
Sorry, could I ask that when you do your tapping and you release these emotions and you get to the core, do you find that a lot of toxicity then, as in people fall away without having to try?
The toxicity around or inside?
Outside.
Outside? When you work, whatever the energetic technique you use, you raise your own energy. And because we are all energy, we can feel people. And in your energetic vibration, you attract different people. And I experience myself. So the people I met before, they are totally different than the people I met now, because my vibration are higher, and I keep going, I keep working on myself because, and even now the people I meet are different than the people I was meeting yesterday. So it's all about vibration, it's all about energy, and you can use whatever the energetic technique. As long as you rise your energy, you will attract other people, and toxic people won't come to you, because toxic people, they know who to come to. So as long as you change, you don't attract them.
It's amazing. I think it's amazing. It's amazing.
It's amazing,
yeah. I think that's exactly what I want to say, because I feel like when you control your energy, then just like you use that word, like you vibrate so much higher. Then people that are vibrating and a lower frequency than you, they just go away and
they go away.
You don't even have to.
It's amazing
how just like go
fast it can happen. It can happen overnight.
So we're gonna take, just for time purposes, we're gonna take one more question. And then what this will do is it'll give you a nice opportunity to network afterwards and get to actually ask them on a one-on-one or in a group setting. So we're going to take one more question.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, we talk a lot, in every training, we talk a lot about toxic people in life, driving them away from you. But there's another fear that comes with this belief. Sometimes you have a lot of intelligent or smart people around you. How do you manage, or how do you contain this fear of people believing in you more than you believe in yourself?
So your own fear, you mean?
Yes.
The fear that these people triggers because they are feeling, See, you need to understand where does this fear come from?
Okay.
Is it because you don't trust yourself? Is it because you have a lack of self-confidence, you can't, or is it because you can't see your potential, your resources, or what you have inside that can help you?
Sometimes you just don't feel like you are up to where they're putting you. Pressure. You have this pressure. When people think that you are more than who you are, maybe they call you somewhere to give a speech believing that you know everything. And there's this fear that comes with that. So how do you deal with that?
So is it because you don't know you are able to do it?
Yes. Or you've not done it before, you don't know they can do it, but people believe, like, for instance, I'm watching you today, that's a position I put you in my mind. Okay. So tomorrow I can say, I call upon you because I believe for you to be here, you can be there. But you have not been there. And when I call you for that, maybe there's this fear that comes with that. So that fear, would you call it a negative fear, or how do you deal with this kind of fear?
It's you have to know which kind of fear it is. Where does this fear come from? Is it a fear of, okay, they ask me to do that, but I don't feel that I have the abilities to do it?
Yes.
So first check, okay, they ask me to do that, which ability this ask for? Which kind of ability do you have to use that? So I have done this before. Something you have feel the same, or no, I don't feel confident enough to do, and then you just say no, but you have to work on yourself. Because if people see something in you, there's something from you that's attracting us, or that make you think that you can do it.
Let me ask you this. This is very interesting. One of the, first of all, as she touched on at the end, you must absolutely know when to say no, right? And if somebody has expectations on you that are unrealistic, it is 100% your responsibility to say no, not that, right? So if you go there nervous, mess up, embarrass yourself, it's not their fault for asking you. right? It's your fault for accepting. Now, there are people who have different personalities. Some people will look at somebody saying, you know what, I believe in you, right? I'm going to stretch you. I want you to do this. I know you don't think you can do it, but trust me, you can do it, right?
It's manipulated.
Hold on. But some people like me love that, right? Build me up a little bit, right? Stretch me, and I'll go for it. I don't get nervous about that, right? But some people do, right? And again, you have to know when to say no.
But if you say no, you never get to know whether you can actually do it.
Well, wait a second. But you're saying no because of what? Why are you saying no?
Because you're afraid of it.
Okay, then say yes.
So now he's like, why do you think I cannot do that?
The question is, what are you afraid of?
Yeah.
Well, I can say it's a personal experience.
Okay.
A lot of people think that I can do things that I feel like maybe I can do this. Sometimes I have to push myself to do that. But even when I try to do that, I see that I must have tried so many ways to avoid doing it. But when there's no option, I'll come back to the reality. But often, people seem to put me in a situation that I've never been to. And they seem to think that I can do that. Maybe I never experienced it, maybe I never done that. So what I'm asking now is there any technique to deal with such a situation?
What happened after you did that though?
Well, sometimes
Did you succeed or you failed?
Most times I succeed.
I think some people will say get beyond your fear, but a lot of people use that fear also to motivate them. Right? Some people need to have some fear within them to really go. As you said, you try every way to get out, can't get out, just do it. Right? And you succeed, right? Some people need that. It's a pattern, right? Some people need that. So again, you can say yes, you can say no. You have to do what's comfortable for yourself, right? But if you say yes, there are actions there. If you say no, there are actions there as well. All right? Yeah.
All right. That was an interesting So, a big thank you to Colin and a huge thank you to Sophie for this amazing work.